Not do that, no. All right, so no questions on this?
After you do Mr. Mail.
Okay. All right, so weighted averages. So, what is a weighted average? Like, there's, every single one of you in your life has at least one thing it's a weighted average.
Grade.
A grade, right? Your grade, and here's a weighted average, right? Tests are worth so much, homework's worth so much, final exams worth so much. It's a weighted average. A lot of times when you're dealing with things, grades are weighted averages. We'll do that a lot with these problems. The first one we're actually going to do is actually weighting averages on cameras. Trying to figure out what is a better quality camera based on different things. But weighted averages are a way of computing a mean with a set of numbers in which some elements of the set carry more importance than others, right? Like tests are worth 50% in this class. The final exams worth 20%. It carries more weight than certain things. Now, how we do that is, if we're looking at a grade where homework counts as 10%, quizzes count as 20%, and tests count as 70%. Those percentages need to be written as decimals. Because what you are going to do is take those decimals, take 0.10, and multiply it by what they actually got for their homework, which is 92. And you're going to take 0.20, how much it is on the quiz, and multiply it by what they got for the quizzes, which is 68. And you're going to take 0.70, which is how much the tests are worth, multiply it by their test grade of 81. Right? So whatever we're weighting gets changed to a decimal. Does that make sense? And then when you multiply all that out, you add them together, that gives you your weighted average. In this case, Pat's grade, which would have been 79.5. Sorry, Pat.
That's not you. More like Quentin's grade, right, bud?
All right. So the first one, like I said, we're going to do cameras. We're going to try and decide which is a better camera using a weighted average. Hey, shh. You turn around.
I can't focus when you keep talking.
Well, quit talking to him and you'll be able to focus.
Pat's got a caterpillar
Who looks
mustache.
like shit?
Patrick looks like a pedophile.
All right, hey. Enough.
Gotcha.
Both of you.
Look at that.
All right.
Now he's a-
Sam wants to buy a new camera and decides on the following rating system. He says image quality is worth 50% of his grade, battery life 30%, zoom range 20%. Right? So his weighted average carries those three categories. He looked at two different cameras and gave them out of 10, an 8 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. For the Kony, the Sanon gets a 9, a 4, and a 6. He wants to know which of the cameras is the best. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change these percentages to decimals. 0.5, 0.3, 0.2. Right? Anything that I'm weighting is changed from a percent to a decimal. So he says the image quality is worth 50%. So in the Kony, 0.5 times, it got an 8 for image quality. So 0.5 times 8. Plus, it got a 6 for battery life. Battery life is worth 30%. So 0.3 times 6. Plus, a 7 for zoom range. It's worth 20%. So 0.2 times 7. And you can throw that right into your calculator. I think for the Kony we should get what? 7.2? That's what I got. Right, so make sure you're getting that. I think this becomes, is that 4? I think that's 1.8. I'm not mistaken. Right, 1.8 and then 1.4. So 4 plus 1.8 plus 1.4. Should give us a total of 7.2 for the Kony. So now to figure out which one's better, I'm going to do the same thing for the Sanon. Sanon gets 9 for image quality, so 0.5 times 9 plus 0.3, it has a 4 for a battery life, so times 4, plus 0.2 has a 6 for zoom range, so times 6. She get 4.5 plus 1.2 plus 1.2. She gives us a total of what? 6.9. So, out of the two cameras, which one's better? The Kony. The Kony's better. Right? 7.2 is better than 6.9. So, Kony is better. Alright, there's one more problem. I want you guys to try it. One more problem I want you guys to try it. Talking about someone's grade in the class. I'll give you about a minute, we'll say. A minute.
Did your mother bring you vegetables? She said she took both yours and hers this morning. She's gonna deliver them, she said.
We need your veggies.
Your veggies? She said, she opened her lunch today, she said, oh, I have Billy's veggies too.
She must have been absolutely freaked when she said that.
She was very startled. Very shaken up. Alright, Paige, what'd you get?
78.1.
78.1. Good, right? Tests are worth 45%, so we're going to take 0.45 times 70, because that's what you're on the test. Homework's worth 0.25 times by 82. Essays are worth 0.3 or 30% times by 87. She gets 78.1. Sweet.